In the late 70s and early 80s, the economy became much more difficult, and there were calls for changes, and the big change that was made was a move toward the primacy and supreme importance of shareholders, namely financial owners, and other stakeholders became more secondary.
This has led to the crisis, and it is only the consequence of some way of seeing the world as if the economy or the economic variables were the only important thing in the world, and they are not.
There is a manifested discomfort with the economies or the neoclassical economic dominant view that has been embedded into management education and the management practice.
CEOs are increasingly materialistic. They're motivated and oriented and think a lot about money for themselves. More individualistic. They think of themselves very autonomously, and they have deep beliefs in the importance of autonomy and individual accountability, and more narcissistic.
It is very difficult to deviate from the common opinion of a herd, because the individual who deviates has high costs for himself, because he must give good reasons why this development should end, but that's very difficult to give good reasons because it's in the future and it's unknown. And moreover, the others don't like people who have different opinions. But the real problem is that information which would be useful for a firm and at the end for society does not come to the fore.
Well, we have to change our way of thinking about firms.
They could organize meetings in a way such that people who have different opinions have an incentive to tell them, to give them. So, for instance, instead of asking people, the oldest one, the most experienced one, or the one with the highest income, they could start with the people, with the youngest ones, or with some who are a little bit outsiders. They should start with them, and then these people will probably voice their opinion. And secondly, I think the discussion should be open, not too hierarchical.
We have to see organizations as a set of people.
For the most responsible and conscientious executives to speak out against the others, that they need to have much more peer accountability, they need to have much more peer pressure, so that those CEOs, even if they're in a small minority today, who are conscientious, who are long-term oriented, who are stakeholder oriented, who are capable of some selflessness, start speaking out more vocally about their fraternity.
A community that has to achieve some objective, some mission, it's called sometimes, external mission, I would say, in fulfilling the needs of some customers and the employees.
The recent history also shows the power of ideas. No? So sometimes, business school professors or management scholars, we have the feeling that people don't listen to us, or that we don't have that much capacity of influence, which maybe part of it is true if we think directly, but then one realizes that some ideas developed in, for financial markets, had a profound change. So one has to think that more positive ideas in terms of how to understand management, firms, and society will eventually also have an impact. But the impact will never be directly just because we are preaching this kind of thing, but it will require the demands of society and the intervention of government, and at the end the change in the behavior of managers, which are the ones that end up having the last influence.